So at that point, the 284 comes, and this intuition is so strong, my body is physically moving forward, and I'm standing my ground, stubborn, going, I'm not getting on the 284, I'm getting on the 181. So then I feel like, all right, all right, you go on. That's the kind of energy that I felt afterwards, yeah? Yeah. So the 284 goes now. 10 seconds later, the 181 comes, and I'm like, see, told you the 181 was coming, see. So I get on the 181. Shem, we get as far as the next bus stop. Yeah. He lets the people them on, he lets the people them off. As the bus pulls away, crash. Just crashed into a car. I fly forward, everybody flies forward. And I'm like, oh.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Awaken to Joy. I'm Shem.
Je suis Amandi.
And today we are having a conversation with a wonderful guest. We have a brilliant one for you this month. And we lovingly call her Char. But this is Charlene Frost. And I'm going to let her introduce herself. Hey, Char. Lovely to have you.
What's up, guys? Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here and to be with you guys. As Shem said, I'm Char. Just call me Char. And yeah, I can't wait to get stuck into this. It's going to be good.
Wonderful. Well, we will crack on. How have you been?
I have one complaint. It's been too hot. It's been too hot in this UK. Like, we're not built for this. Yeah, I know the Americans are like, I don't get it. Bro, you don't get it because we got bricked houses and we got carpet. It's been too hot. But outside of that, gracefully, I am so good.
Good. Samesies. But if you're in the UK, if you know, you know. All right. So our first question for you will be, before you started to explore everything and be in the place you are today, who would you say Char is, and what would you say your journey has been like up until this point?
Who would I say? Char has always been who I am now. Always. Just masked. Very much masked. Part of that is neurodivergence, and part of that is because, just childhood wounds of not feeling accepted. But my journey has been interesting. It's been up and down, and it has been full circle. And I say that because this has always been there. But alongside this, I went to a Catholic primary school. I was raised by a Rastafarian, by an atheist, with Muslim friends and Christian family members. So, it has been dynamic and interesting for sure. For sure.
So can you say diversity then?
Oh, girl.
Right?
All the diversity.
Wow. How has that shaped you up until now? And I realized that you were touching on neurodivergence. How has it been navigating just even that section of your life as far as like masking is concerned? Because it's kind of what, and I'm not okaying it, but it's like a rite of passage for those of us who are neurodivergent to have to go through. It's like, if I want to get through today, or if I want to get through said situation, I'm going to have to, this. How has that journey been, that thread of your journey been like, navigating that through then childhood and adulthood? How has that been for you?
It's been confusing because I was only diagnosed 2 years ago. So as a child, I knew I was hyperactive. I was always told that I was hyper. I wasn't allowed to eat sweets. I wasn't allowed to drink fizzy drinks. When I went to kids' parties, I had to eat the fruit. Like, I weren't allowed because it was a madness. And I tell this story. I remember there was one day, I don't know what my mum let me have, but I remember one day I had something, and I was about 7 years old, and I was whizzing around in a circle in my living room, yeah, so fast that the kitten on my mum's lap was going, like, that's how much I was whizzing, yeah. And I remember thinking to myself, I need to lay down and calm down because I feel like I'm gonna pop. And I laid down and I was like, for ages. And then eventually my breathing calmed down. And my mum and the cat are just looking at me. And my mum just went, "You good now?" And I was like, "I think so." Like, so, yeah, it was mad. Like, I just always had energy. I was a terrible sleeper. I couldn't sleep. Some of that was because of the energy. Some of that was because at nighttime I can hear beings walking up and down my stairs, and I know there's just me and my mum in the yard. Like, why can I hear someone walking up and down the stairs? You know what I'm saying? So some of that was that. And then, yeah, like in school, I was a boffin. I was a goody two shoes. I was good at everything, but that came at a detriment. And people found me too much. They found I was always told that you're too much, you're too sensitive, you're a crybaby, you cry too much. But I didn't know I was feeling everything intensely, you know. And because I was intelligent, it was completely missed because I was in all the top sets of everything. I did my maths GCSE 3 years early, you know. So when it came to year 11 and me doing my GCSEs and I got my exam results, I was like, what the hell's going on? Because I'm in all the top sets, all my coursework is A star, and my exams come C's, D's, E's, F's, G's. And I remember when I was doing the exams, I was like, I couldn't get my head around what I was reading, like at all. Just couldn't understand it. And it was only after that I'm thinking, like, what happened? Like, what happened? So at first I thought maybe there's some dyslexia because whilst I was good at English, I was really, really good at English up until a point. And I remember my English teacher coming to me saying, "You're a little bit borderline. Like you're always good, but I think if I put you in the higher tier of English, if you miss it, you won't get a good result. So I'm gonna put you in the foundation tier. So that the highest grade you can get is a C, but it would be the equivalent of an A. So you're better off doing it that way around." And I thought, okay, that makes sense. And so I did get a C in English. I was really good at French, which was weird. My French grade was better than
that
English.
weird. That is not
Oh,
that
okay.
weird. And this is why I'm going to tell you why, right? You're speaking my story, number one. But number two, another synchronicity between us is the fact of I know that you needed French when you, like, how your story unfolds. I know you needed some of that French, right?
True.
Just
Very
putting it
true.
out there.
Right.
But I'm not going to spoil the story, so I'm just saying it's not that weird. It's spot on.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Nothing is random.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
moving on from after that, how did you transition into work life interests? How did you navigate that once all your results were in and once you were like, okay, how did you process that and move on?
So the next step was I wanted to do a business course at sixth form, and they were like, "Nah, because my art and French was their words was head and shoulders above everything else. I had an A for art and I had an A for French, so they were like, that's not enough for you to do business. You're gonna have to do leisure and tourism." I was like, "Bro, I don't care about leisure and tourism," but they made me do it. And it was easy. I was just getting distinctions all the time, but I was bored of it. I just ended up dropping out. I dropped out. There was stuff going on at home, so I was like helping out with my younger siblings. And then at some point I thought maybe I should try college. So I did computer studies in college, and I got a part-time job working in Tesco. I did that for like 9 months, and I was just bored. And then I had a cycle of just trying a thing and getting bored and leaving. So I was like, I'll go and work in this place. Don't like it, it's boring, leave that. I'll go and do this course, don't like it, it's boring, I'll leave that. I'll go and do that job. Like, it was so easy for me to get jobs. I can sell sand to a guy in the desert, yeah. So it's just so easy for me to get a job. But I was literally like, after a few months, I'm bored, I'm done, like, I'm leaving. And I never knew that that was a part of all of this. I always kept thinking, like, what's wrong with me? Like, why can't I just settle into something? And then at some point I thought, maybe it's because I'm doing retail. Let me try admin. So I went and did like an adult learning. I think I did business admin level 3 MVQ. And then that helped me get an admin job. And I stayed in that admin job for 2 years, and I was like, oh, okay. I need to be on the computers. That's what I need to do. So then I left that because I decided to leave London, and I lived in Birmingham for 2 years. And I managed to hold down a good job in Birmingham. And then I was like, yeah, this ain't working for me. I need to go back to London now, though. Because what was going on for me was, at the time, I don't think I knew, but I was escaping grief. My nan had just passed. And as happy as I was for her to pass, because I'd watched her suffer for 8 years of being a stroke victim. So when she did transition, I was so relieved and happy for her. But she was the one person who I experienced unconditional love from. So when she passed, it was such a massive loss. So I ended up living with my aunt in Brum. And then after a while, I was just like, after 2 years, I was like, yeah, I need to come back. I need to go back to London. So then I transitioned from there to a job in Royal Mail, where I stayed for 8 years. That's the longest career I've ever had. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I loved it because it was mental. It was hectic. I was working in a call centre. Like, my shift would start at 8 o'clock, yeah. It's 7:45 and the phones are ringing off the hook. And I'm like, this, yes, like, it's going to be chaos today. And there's flip charts everywhere and there's whiteboards and people are losing their heads. And I'm just like, this is my bag. Because I'm a problem solver. Put me in the middle of chaos and I can sort it out. Again, it's the bonus of having ADHD, one of my neurodivergences. So yeah, I was there for 8 years, and then after a while, I was just like, this doesn't feed my soul. Like, I'm a music artist, and I'm talking about the struggles of life. I care about people. I don't care about letters. I don't even get letters come through my door. I have email. Like, why am I tunneling all my energy into this, you know?
Yeah.
So then I spoke to my boss and I said, look, it's time for me to transition into what I really want to do. And then, yeah, I left corporate world and went into the third sector, doing youth work, advocacy, support work, like covered the whole range of young people, gangs, exploitation, criminal exploitation, SEN, homelessness, substance misuse. I did the whole gamut. So, yeah, that was that.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you about growing up, looking back now, what were some of your earliest experiences that made you realize you were perceiving the world differently?
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was perceiving the world differently. So, but what I would say is, like, the earliest thing that I knew was a bit odd was I thought it was a dream. I now know it definitely wasn't. And I was very young, like maybe like 5 or 6. And I can still see it now. The view of the room was from, like, I was in like the corner of the ceiling and I'm looking down. And I know I'm in my nan's house, but it doesn't look like how I know it to be. So I'm looking at the carpet thinking, oh, carpet don't look like that. And I'm like, where did these bunk beds come from? You know, and I'm just seeing this room and I'm just like, it's weird. And I'm not even clocking that I'm up in the corner looking down. I'm just like, my nan's room looks weird. So then I wake up, I tell my mum, I was like, oh, yeah. You know, she don't really pay nothing to it. And then I have it again and again and again. And I keep telling her, like, I'm having these dreams. And it was only when I got to about a teenager that she referenced that back. She went, yeah, you used to freak me out, you know, when you used to tell me about those dreams. I'm like, why? She goes, because you were describing my bedroom when I was younger. And I was like, what? She was like, that's how it looked when I was young, we had bunk beds. The carpet was the color that you described it. Like, so when you're like knee high, you're describing my bedroom to me when I was a child, that used to freak me out.
Wow. Way to
So,
let you know, right?
yeah.
Thanks,
So
Mum.
obviously, yeah, like I found that out years later, but even when I was having the dreams, I knew there was something, I don't know how to explain it, but I remembered them and it felt a certain way. But I would say, to answer your question, Amanda, it was probably around about like 8, 9 years old when I'm hearing people walking up and down my stairs, and I'm running to my mum's room going, there's someone up. She's like, no, what are you talking about now? There ain't. And I'm saying to her, I know there is. And then she's just like, all right, fine. Like, I've seen Duppy, sorry, spirits for non-Jamaicans. I've seen Duppy my whole life. Like, Nanny's house is full of them. Then she starts telling me her ghost stories. Yeah. So we're now exchanging, you know what I mean? I'm a child, but I'm like, I'm scared, but also I'm relieved that I'm not crazy. Like, it's not in my imagination. But because my mum was open about it, and her friends were, like, her best friends were Turkish or Jamaican, like, depending on which side it was, and they all had the same stories. So this was just so normal. And I would say I remember experiencing sleep paralysis from as young as like 8. I didn't know how to describe it. How it would play out for me was really scary. Like, I would hear loud growls, and like invisible beings would pull my hair. I had really long hair, and they would pull my hair, and it was like terrifying. I would have pressure around my body. But then my best friend Ty, he would wake up and he would feel someone sitting on his chest, and he couldn't move and he couldn't breathe. And then him and my mum would talk about it. My mum would say, yeah, and then did this happen? You know what I mean? So this was just all normal to us. It was all normal. So yeah, probably from like, I'd say 8 or 9.
So did you realize then these were OBEs at the time, or dreams, like very lucid dreams, or you thought that was like ghosts around you or stuff like that? Because most of the people well, now they are aware, but at the time they were not aware that it is an out-of-body experience, or you're being paralyzed, yes, but it is temporary and you're experiencing the other side. Were you aware of that at the time?
No, I thought they were dreams, and I thought, yeah, there's just ghosts hanging around, like, and I don't know why. I don't know why they're there. It was very much like, you know, I'm an 80s baby, so it's like, oh, the flat is haunted. My nan's house is haunted, you know, like, that's just what it is. And then, you know, the first time I went to Jamaica, I had loads of experiences there, and then yeah, everybody haunted Bronya, you know, like, it was just that whole old school thing, like, it's just haunted. But I do remember one experience that I had around about 10 years old, and I didn't know if it was a dream or not, but I didn't know what else it could be. And this was, and I don't care how people hear this or how they perceive it, you can make up your own mind. I'm not saying anything, I'm just going to describe the experience. But I was standing on top of the Twin Towers in New York. And I remember looking down, and then at some point I started falling. I started falling off the top of one of the Twin Towers. And I remember, as I was falling, a thought came into my head where one of my Jamaican family members has said, you can't die in a dream, you know, because if you die in a dream, you're dead in a real life. So I was like, I can't die. Like, I need to wake up. So I can see myself falling. And whilst I can see myself falling, at the same time, I can see myself wriggling in the bed like this. So it's almost like a split screen, like how I can see us now on the screen. It's exactly like that. It's like, so I can see myself falling towards the ground, but I can also see myself in the bed wriggling. And I'm like, I've got to get there. I need to fall into my body. That's what I was thinking. I need to fall into my body. And then at some point, I just remember, like, my vision kind of like zoomed like a tunnel almost onto my body. And then I remember jumping up and thinking, oh God, okay, I'm not dead. I'm not dead.
You know, that sounds very prophetic, knowing the history of what happened.
That's
And
that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Mad.
because okay, I was going to ask you a question actually, and essentially it's for someone who's completely new to this. What would you say the difference between these lucid dream, prophetic dreams, OBEs are? Like, what is the difference
Yeah.
between them for you? What's your interpretation of that?
Between dreams and OBEs, I'd say the difference for me has been the level of awareness. So when I have an OBE, I can probably count on one hand how many times I've been 100% aware. It's probably like 2 or 3. Whereas, and other OBs, I'd say I'm like 95% aware. And the reason why I'd say that is because I know I'm out of my body. I know that I'm experiencing something that's not typical to round one as I know it, but I'm not in control of commanding where I'm going. I'm just following what my soul is instinctively doing. With lucid dreams, I'm aware that I'm dreaming. But I've got too many realm one fears going on still. So I'm like if I think back to the last lucid dream I had, which was it was a long time ago though. It was way before all the OBs I had recently and before the knowledge I've acquired in the last couple of years. So the last lucid dream I had, I just remember being out on the street and there was some drunk person next to me and I was like, bro, you need to get a kebab or something, because he was just too drunk, falling all over the floor. And then I turn around and I see my girl and she was going into a jewellery shop. And as I saw her, I was like, bro, I'm dreaming. Oh, yeah, I'm dreaming. Let me go find my girl. So I run after her and she comes out the jewellery shop. And I'm like, Suze, I'm dreaming. You're in my dream. And I'm running behind her. And then the whole dream just went silent and all I can hear is her footsteps. So now my inner child fears are coming out. Now I'm thinking, because she's got her back to me and she's just walking in front of me, I'm thinking she's going to turn around and have some demonic face or something, yeah. So I'm like, who are you? Who are you really, Suze? Like, who are you? And I spin around and she is my girl, but she's just looking at me just like, what's your problem kind of thing. And then I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And then I wake up. So, yeah, for me, a lucid dream, like, the next time I have one, I will have the awareness to be able to bring more of myself, more of my conscious being into the space so that I can command what's going on. And then with prophetic dreams, they're interesting because I've had quite a few. And I don't like to say the future because there's no time. But what has happened to me is I've had many dreams over the years that carry a feeling that I can't really put into words, but it's like a knowing. And then years later, I'll be living my life and I'll get the craziest deja vu, like the strongest sense of deja vu. And the dream that I had 10 years ago, 20 years ago will come back into my head and it will replay and I'll be like, oh my God, I dreamt this. How many years ago? So, yeah, I don't know if they're like indicators or like reminders to keep us on our path. Like, I'm not really sure with the prophetic dreams.
Okay. Well, in our own personal relationship, I know that you and I love sharing like our dream experiences and OB experiences. So I would say, your prophetic dreams be prophetic. Though I know you don't call them that, but what some stuff that you've shared with me, I've been like, oh, that's dead on. Like, so yeah. But I get why you were cautious to say it's this or it's that. I get it.
So I was just going to say something you said I think is good for the community to understand and know specifically about OBEs, because you talk about not being yourself. Well, you are yourself, but it's like you're different than you being here in your avatar. I've experienced something similar. It feels like almost as if your soul takes over and you're on automation. And I did experience that. And when you're 100% conscious, it really feels that way. So I think the way you described it was very specific and very precise. And from my own experience, I can confirm that it's definitely that it's a matter of awareness, control, and how much you can bring to your lucidity while you're experiencing these events. Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to get into the idea of you exploring yourself outside of like what you were explaining were the lucid dreams trappings, like the trappings of the fears here. So when you're like in OBE state and you're kind of just like free from fear, I'd say, like free from any, it's this freedom based line of no, I didn't really think being limited in any way kind of doesn't even dawn on you in those moments, right? When you're in those moments and you've experienced them, what was the, do you remember the experience that you had that kind of like was the convinced you like there's this and then there's this physical body, that even though I know you had those feelings as a kid and I know you had those experiences as a kid, but you just weren't calling it that. Is there a time like for you now where it's like, okay, that locked me in, that let me know outside of this body, I am, you know? Did you, was there a time where it's like that, or was it just become like, okay, let's start calling a thing a thing?
No, because it's never something that I've ever questioned. But what I will say is, I used to believe the New Age thing that we were just like a ball of light, that we were an ethereal soul. And then when I kept hearing Darius and Andre and Corey talk about the soul being physical, I was like, really? And then when I don't know if you saw the testimony I did on Corey's channel, that OBE was like, okay, we are physical. Because all now I can still feel that dog biting me on the back of my leg. Like, I remember what it felt like. Like I said, it wasn't painful. It wasn't painful, but he was nipping the back of my leg. And I remember thinking to myself, oh yeah, let me just float through the fence. And I couldn't float through the fence. Like, I went to go through the fence and bang, I hit my shin. And I was like, what the, you know? And then when I went in the house and I'm sitting on the side and I'm touching countertops and I'm like, wow, we're really physical. Like, this is nuts to me. So that was that defining moment of, okay, yeah, this ain't what I thought it was, but we're definitely we're solid, which still in my human mind is hard to fathom.
That reminds me of one of that exact story that you shared when you were when I first saw that interview that you had with Corey. So from that, what is your belief around dreams being just simply like your personal experience, your personal life? Like, you know, you watch a movie and then you dream about something that was in the movie, or for you, what's your understanding between that and it being connected to something like the collective, or, you know, something greater than yourself, something other than just your own personal goings and comings?
I think, how do I put this into words? I think it's both, in the sense that I think everything is connected to the collective, but within that there is a section that pertains to us as individuals. So I feel like in the dream space, we do use our dimensional spaces to work through shit. For instance, when I was young, I was absolutely petrified of thunderstorms because I don't know if it's a neurodivergent thing, but like that sudden bang, because it's not just thunder, it was like fireworks, party poppers, balloons, like it's all got the same effect, motorbike engines revving, like all of that. It's still, all of that stuff still makes my nervous system jump, but I don't have the fear that I had as a kid. And because when a thunderstorm would come and it would put me into such a state, I spent a long time dreaming about thunderstorms and tornadoes. Like, when I say the craziest, biggest, wildest fire tornadoes, even, like these things would just be in my subconscious all the time. And I was constantly navigating dimensional spaces where there's apocalyptic thunderstorms and tornadoes going on. And if I had the knowledge that I had now, I would try and find a way to navigate, like to just basically sit in it. But what I would do is spend time running away from them. So obviously, from a psychological perspective, I understand what was going on with me. But why I say I believe it's all connected is because we are all connected. So there is a reason why, let's just say that kind of nervous system reaction is connected to me being neurodivergent. That would then mean that there are other neurodivergent people that have the same thing or something similar. There is a reason why that happens. So as a collective, maybe there is something that, I don't know, let's say if I found a way to work through that in the dream state and I brought it back to here, then I could help other people that I knew that were neurodivergent with that thing. And then that would help the dimensional space and whatever not, because whatever's going on in my dimensional space is going to affect other people because our dimensional spaces blend. So there is always a connection, even when it's individual, that it spreads out to the wider collective. And that's why I'm so kind of, I don't know, I'm really aware of the information I ingest. I don't spend time watching the news and things like that, because all of that stuff is done for a reason. It is to put us in a particular state. It is to have our nervous systems in a particular space and to create our thought forms for energy harvesting. And so I'm just going to make sure that, I try and, it's a diet that I like to keep clean for me.
So then would you say that our fears, belief systems we hold on to can shape experiences? In the dream states, for sure, because of the lack of control we have, but also during a out-of-body experience. Do you think that is possible?
Yeah.
And have you
100%.
experienced these type of things during an OBE as well?
100%. I'll give you one. So this one is out there, but I don't care. I went through a period of time where I was experiencing myself as a wolf in the out-of-body state, and I didn't know it at the time. I was just very confused. So what would happen is I would have these, what I thought I knew they weren't dreams, but I didn't know what they were, because the word out-of-body wasn't there. Astral projection was kind of there, but I didn't really know what that was. I just knew when I went to sleep, something weird was going on. And I would have these experiences where I'm running on all fours, and because you're still you, in my head, I'm like, why am I running on my hands and feet? Like, why am I doing this? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why don't I just run like a normal person? Why am I galloping on my hands and feet. I don't understand. And I'd get to wherever I get to, and I'd just stand up and be like, why did you do that? Like, it doesn't make sense. And then I started to notice a pattern. Every time it happened, it would be when it was foggy. This fog would come out of nowhere. It'd be dark. It'd be like 2 a.m. And I'd be running like this, and then all of a sudden I would leap, and then I'd be on all four. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. And then I think I had a dream. That's it. I had a dream where someone in my family who had openly expressed that they know that they experienced themselves as a wolf they didn't even use any term. They just said that. And in my dream, I was having a conversation with that person, and we were in a cave surrounded by wolf cubs. And they were telling me the whole history of wolves and humans. None of it I can remember. But I remember waking up thinking that means something. I don't know what I dreamt, but I know that it means something. So then I put 2 and 2 together, and I realized this was what was happening to me. This is that I was experiencing myself as a wolf in dreams or out of bodies. And then I had this one where, and this is, it's got to be about 17 years ago now. I became aware that I was in a space. So I didn't come out of my body consciously or whatever, but I just became aware. I was standing in this space. Sorry, hay fever. And there's this being in front of me, which in the space I knew was a vampire. Now, I'll describe the being as 7, 8 feet tall, white fur, almost like rabbit fur, gnarly teeth, beaming, beady red eyes, lanky as hell, and just like evilly just like doing that to me. Now, for context, I was obsessed with anything macabre. Obsessed. Undertaker was my favorite wrestler. I'm into Twilight. I'm into True Blood. I'm into Vampire Diaries. I'm everything mythical, dark. I should have been a goth, really. Like, I'm into it. So that's also going on in this realm, right, at that time. So he's standing there gnarling at me. And I've opened my mouth to speak, and I've got this deep, gravelly voice, right? Which, at the time, I'm like, I'm doing this. Like, it's so strange because it's like, it's normal in the space, but my mind is still me. So I'm still like, what the hell? You know, I'm still like, oh, question. Yeah. So I say to him, I literally say, how dare you come to this realm, to my realm, I say to my realm, and challenge me. These times, I don't even know that we're in a realm. So I don't know where this word came from. Like, I legit didn't even know.
You know what?
Big words, 10 toes or 10 claws, whatever.
Sounds like that series called Sandman, the Sandman. And they all have their own realms, and basically you got to be allowed to come to that realm and whatnot. Yeah, you've got to ask permission. You can't just
and then to challenge someone in their own realm was big.
Yeah,
it's bold.
a big thing. So it's an interesting show. I mean, the Sandman kind of represent, quite accurately what's happening during dream state and OBE. So I recommend for people to watch it.
I should check it out. Yeah.
Seeing as you are a True Blood and all of that.
Yeah. Into all of that.
But to your just to make it even, maybe less weird in a way, I've experienced myself as a what they call a kitsune in Japanese, which is basically a fox with flames. So this is all real, right?
Okay. Thanks. That make that.
Yeah. So it's not so weird anymore, right?
Yeah.
Although I never asked myself why I'm on all fours, though. I don't know. It was felt normal, but
Well, I definitely have a few times. Yeah. So I'm like, puffed out chest, and I'm just like, how dare you come to my realm and challenge me? And he's standing there and he's looking at me. So now I start, and I feel, again, no pain, but I feel every bone in my body start breaking. I feel myself doing this, and I can see myself changing into a wolf. But as I'm transitioning, I'm imagining myself biting into his neck. And as I imagine it, I can taste the blood. I can still taste it now. I can taste the blood. I can feel his tender. I can feel everything in my jaw. And at that point, I go, oh God, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then my body just stops changing and I'm back to normal. And he looks at me and he goes, oh, thank God. Thank God. And we're both standing there like, whew. And he's like, that was close. And I'm like, yeah. And then he just looks at me. And then once we got past that, we're looking at each other and I feel this immense love for this guy. That I can feel this love between us. And then he says to me, see you in 5 years, yeah? And I go, yeah. And then I wake up.
Wow.
You know,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I'm going to give validity to what you just said. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people would just say, and it is partly true that basically whatever you consume, you can replicate it in the dream space, right? However, situation like this, I know they truly happen because even me as a kitsune, I didn't know what that was. They say I had flames and everything. I never knew what that was. And my daughter had to tell me, oh, this is a kitsune. I said, what's a kitsune? She showed me the whole thing because she's into Japanese culture, right? So,
I've seen them,
I wasn't
actually.
even influenced by that. But what I'm saying, these events are real. It's not just, it's more the other way around as opposed to the idea that I watch something on TV and now I get influenced and I'm going to go to replicate that in the dream space. Is actually what they get from that state, that out of body experience you're having gets to basically written in movies and shows and stuff like that.
I would also go one step further to say, even though you can have experiences like this and then be into those things and we can write them off and say, oh yeah, but that's because I watched True Blood or that's because of whatever. Sometimes I've often found it's the opposite because he didn't know what kitsune was, but he loves Japan. He loves the idea of Japan. He loves the culture. If he's going to go anywhere in Asia first, it would be in Japan. It's like, it's not far off from that which is the knowing. So maybe you were into True Blood and into all of those things because of that, not as a result of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the spirit talking to the physical waking life as well. I find that as much as the influence we feel is only one way, I feel like it's a revolving door at times. Hence why you can,
No, it makes
you know what I
what
mean?
you're saying.
It's that.
Yeah, it does. Because if I think back, like, even the cartoons I loved as a kid, do you remember Count Duckula?
Yes.
And the Dreamstone. And like,
Yeah.
The Never-Ending Story is my favorite movie of all time. Labyrinth is my second favorite movie of all time. Like, The Witches, Roald Dahl was my favorite book and favorite movie. All of those things were very much like, I was obsessed. And like I said, I fell in love with The Undertaker when he appeared on WWF TV. Like, everything dark and that was my thing before any of this. So yeah.
I'm laughing because you literally I'm laughing because you're literally like reading my life right now. Plus, also, side note, fellow Jamaican. So here we go. Like, in case anyone was wondering what the giggles is about, sometimes I get it. But and when you spoke about having a goth phase, I literally had a goth phase. I did. My mum did everything in her bones to get me up out of that. It's embarrassing for Jamaican parents. What do you mean you're wearing black? What do you mean?
Well, you had the Doc Martens boots and whatnot.
Everything. Everything. The black lipstick. Everything. Oh, yeah.
Black nails.
Whole 9 yards.
I had all the metal chains. I remember I went clubbing in this luminous top with black bats all over it.
Loved
It's
it.
like,
That was me. So I was like, she was like, you've got one more year of this, and then I will be done with. Yes, I was like, yeah,
it's not,
Yeah,
cool.
I think I was just going to say basically like it's a field of creation anyway. So everything is, has its own, truth to it anyway. And you keep creating and all these things come to life. So yeah, I'm not surprised that you've experienced something like this. I actually can resonate with that. Yeah.
I was also going to touch on a couple of things about your intuition. Now, you talk about this knowing that you've had, like from young, like I just knew, like your intuition. How has that helped you in navigating your life, and how do you use that like today?
oh man, my intuition has given me some incredible experiences. Let me sip some water because there's a lot. There's a
Go
lot,
for
man.
it. Go for it.
All right, the first one, yeah. See, me and my intuition, I call, sometimes I change the name, but I call him names sometimes. But Michael, yeah, it used to be Michael. Me and Michael have a battle going on because I like to, I know Michael's trying to help me, but sometimes I want to do what I want to do in it. But then Michael shows me, this is what you're not listening for feel. Yeah. And that's happened a few times. So the first time when I really put it to the test, and it's normal, basic, everyday stuff, but it's quite funny. Yeah. So I'm in Lewisham High Street, coming home from work. It's been a long day. It's been a long journey. The bus I need to get home is the 181. My head is saying, get the 284, get the 284, get the 284. I said, no, I'm not getting the 284. Because when I get the 284, I've got to walk an extra 15 minutes and I'm tired and it's raining. I'm waiting for the 181 because I know in 4 minutes' time, because this is before City Map and all that, I know in 4 minutes' time the 181's coming because I can feel it. And my intuition is going, I know it's coming, but get on the 284. I'm like, no. So at that point, the 284 comes. And this intuition is so strong, my body is physically moving forward. And I'm standing my ground, stubborn, going, I'm not getting on the 284, I'm getting on the 181. So then I feel like, all right. You know that, all right, you go on. That's the kind of energy that I felt afterwards.
Go along.
Yeah. So the 284 goes now. 10 seconds later, the 181 comes, and I'm like, see, told you the 181 was coming. See. So I get on the 181. Shem, we get as far as the next bus stop. Yeah. He lets the people them on, he lets the people them off. As the bus pulls away, crash. Just crashed into a car. I fly forward, everybody flies forward. And I'm like,
Oh. And then you and Michael are like, okay, yeah, I get that. Me and you ain't size.
Yeah.
Clocked.
So then I had to get another bus to Catford, and guess what bus I had to get on home? It was the 284. So I was like, all right. Okay, Mike. This one's you. You got this one. You got this one. So then the next time something happened, I said, all right. I said, I'm listening. I said, what you're asking me is mad, but I'm listening. And the next one was, I was walking home. It was late at night. By now, it's like 11:15 at night. And I hear, follow the dog. There ain't no one on the street. Follow the dog. And all of a sudden, this dog appears. And a man is walking this dog. But he's like, it's like that. So I'm walking this way and this dog appears here. And they go into the park. I said, I'm not going into no park. It's 22:45. Like, if you're saying follow the dog to stay on this pathway, cool. But I ain't going into no park. And I felt like, no. Just stay where you, like, just basically just stay on this path. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I stay on the path and I'm like, okay, what's next? Keep going. Walking. Keep going. But I'm feeling I need to veer into the park. I'm like, it's almost 11 o'clock. Like, it's South London. Like, what are you doing? Kind of thing. Trust. So I keep walking. And then all of a sudden I see like something reflect off the street lamp. And when I look on the grass, I see a handbag, I see a purse, I see keys, I see cards, and I just see all this stuff. I'm like, oh my God. So I pick up this stuff, someone's driver's license, bank book, bank card, keys, all this. And I'm like, oh shit. And I instantly knew that someone had been mugged. So I grab all of this stuff and something said to me, like I sent it back to the person, the address on the driver's license, but something said, write them a note. So I wrote them a note and I said that I found this in the park. I really hope you just lost it. I hope you wasn't robbed. But here's your stuff. 3 weeks later, I get a thank you card in the post with £3 coins in it to cover the postage packaging. And this woman has said, thank you so much. Like, you don't know what this means to me. You recovered pictures that I don't have. And she said, unfortunately, I was robbed. So that was that. And I was just like, I was upset that she was robbed, but I was touched by that exchange. 6 months later, I'm in Bromley. I go shopping. I go to pay for something. I can't find my wallet. I'm like, I had my wallet like 5 minutes ago. Where's my wallet? Can't find my wallet. So I call out the bank, cancel my cards, everything. 2 weeks later, my wallet comes in the post with a note from somebody saying, I found this in Bromley, blah, 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 with their name and address. So I send back a thank you card. I put £3 in it to cover the post. And I did the same thing that happened to me. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
And these are the type of things that logic alone can't give you.
Yeah.
That magical unfolding.
Yeah.
Regular happenings and shenanigans of realm one.
Yeah.
But it puts the magic in realm one because Weez needs it right now. Okay.
Definitely.
I love that. I really do.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. It doesn't have to be huge stuff, but it's the little stuff that unfolds. And sometimes it unfolds in drips that you you can't be aware of that. You can't know these. You can't have the foresight for it. You're not supposed to.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Like I have had the big stuff. Like I've known when not to get on a train. And I think one of the biggest ones of that was in 2009 or 10 when we had that massive snowstorm and everything just locked off for like a week. And somebody just said to me, do not get that train. And I was like, cool. I've learned my lesson by now. I'm not going to get on that train. And that train was stuck between stations overnight because of the snow,
Wow.
So
yeah,
I've had those ones as well, for sure.
So it's very practical advice, isn't it?
Oh, it's always practical, especially with me. Like even yesterday, I was back on my rebellious thing. I needed to get to a meeting, and the thing is like, go the main road, and I'm like, ain't no way I'm going the main road during rush hour. Go the main road. All right, I'll start off on the main road, and I see traffic coming. I just kiss my teeth and turn off to go to the back streets. You see when I look the back streets? Temporary lights. I'm stuck at temporary lights, yeah? And I am there for time to the point where I got to the meeting 25 minutes late. And if I'd have gone the main road, I'd have been on time. And I was sat there in the traffic, in the heat, and I was like, okay.
Touche.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
At this point, what are we doing here? Stop fighting.
It's just what I do, man. I can't help it.
we all do it, when we're ready.
Of course.
I resonate with that for sure. Wanted to talk to you about creativity and music. So we know that, you know, you told us before you worked in the music industry. So how did that chapter shape you, and like both creatively and spiritually?
Yeah, because it's a big journey to take, because of the fact that it's, as much as when you're in it you think everyone's doing it, it's niche.
Yeah.
It takes a certain amount of bravery. It takes a certain amount of courage, no matter where you lay in that industry. So how has that been for you, being who you are, being how you are, being tapped in how you are? How's that journey been?
It's been very polarizing. When I was younger, because I've always been sort of part of a group and in some capacity or whatever, and whenever we've got attention, industry people have always like, we want her. And I'm like, all right, cool, but I come with them in it. And they don't like that. And I'm like, well, sorry, but I come with them. And then at some point, the others stopped making music, and then I kind of did it, pushed more myself. But then what was happening was I was just coming up against things that I'm just not about that life. Like, I remember performing in, do you remember Astoria? That club on Char and Crossroads, that old school, innit?
Is that the same one that's probably a little now? But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. So I performed in Astoria one time, and the promoter come up to me. He was like, "Oh, you were so sick. Like, your performance is so good. You know what would have made your performance just one bit better?" I said, "What?" He said, "You see that moment when you unzipped your top here and you showed off your t-shirt? If you'd have unzipped it and you were just wearing your bra, that would have been amazing."
Oh, the boldness. The
I
boldness.
said, "Oh." I said, "Right, okay. Okay. All right, cool." Like, I understand. It wasn't even, I wasn't even mad at him. He was making me know what this thing is. So I was just like, all right, cool. I'm not about that. So I never obviously worked with them again. And then over the years, I started working with a girl called Lai, who's very similar to me. And our whole thing was, we're going to draw you in by rapping on the most popular beats that are going on right now, whether that's grime, dubstep, trap, whatever, but we're talking about what we're talking about. And it was always like social issues, politically charged, spiritual, whatever. And the crowd that gravitated towards us the most happened to be the Parisians. And that's not very surprising considering how Parisians are. They get down. Like, every time I've been to Paris, there's a riot going on. they're protesting. Like, something's going on in Paris, always. So yeah, 2012, we originally went out there to do a French English EP. We just spent the weekend out there, but then that formulated a relationship. And it's mad because at the beginning, they couldn't speak English and we couldn't speak French, and now they can speak English and we're still on tourist French. Like, you know how we stay already. Like,
but you've got that A though. You see what I'm saying? You see how that works?
I know. And that A has helped me, trust me, because you can navigate Paris with very, very bad French, even though they laugh at you. You can navigate it. But when we had to go to places like Saint Etienne, where they don't speak English, that AGCSE helped me eat. It helped me get train tickets. So yeah, it's definitely helpful. But yeah, like, I can remember being like, I'll be at a show and I'm speaking English and I'm saying to them, guys, you understand what we're saying? And they're like, yeah, like, obviously there's some slang words that we can't translate, but I remember one of them said, we know you're not Little Wayne. Like, we know you're not talking about what Little Wayne's talking about. We know that you're talking about what Nas would talk about. And I was like, Roy, you're really getting it. Like, you're actually, like, you really, really get it. So yeah, we built a connection with our manager out there. His name's Gautier. Sorry, Amondi, for my terrible pronunciation.
No, you got it right. Like, as soon as
really?
Gautier, I was like, oh, I know these French names.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very popular name down there.
Okay. And he formulated something called Call Me Femc, and it was kind of like a sarcastic phrase on why people differentiate between like MCs and female MCs. So it was like a Call Me Femc kind of thing. International women rappers from around the world, like we had Kenyans, we had Senegalese. There's a girl called Categoric who's doing amazing from Switzerland. Comagat from Italy, Gia, who is Romanian but is in America, like loads. And we did a couple of mixtapes, and we were just basically getting booked to do shows on shows and shows in Basque Country, in how many places in France now? Bordeaux, Lyon, Saint-Etienne. Paris is just ongoing all the time. We've been Germany. But yeah, that was solid for like a good 10 years until I moved more into management. I started doing more artist management. And then I did some work experience in a label. And I didn't even last the full term.
Would you like to share the story? Because now you got us locked in. Yeah. At this point, we're invested in the story. We want to know. Okay.
Well, yeah. We're probably gonna have questions after that. Stories you're gonna.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, because this is just like opening up more. I love the fact that consciousness and awareness and can transcend language. Because when you're telling me about how the Parisians roll, which are Parisian, lived in Paris for aeons, that yes. Yeah. So yeah, I get it. But I'm sure hearing it like this, people understand that it's not just a Shem experience. This is like
real, man.
This is real. Parisians are locked in. They don't if you're talking like one way or the other. Music is clearly music, and the message behind it is clearly transcendent in some way. So you're felt like if what you're saying is felt, people will feel it. It transcends language. So you talk about moving into management now and it not lasting long. What was the shift for you?
So the management itself, I did for 5 years, but my dream was to be an A&R in a label. And in 2020, actually, I decided to take it serious. I did a course with the Notting Hill Arts Academy, A&R and music management. And I was like, I can tell it's going to happen now. I'm doing this course. I'm getting random emails on my email, people saying like, are you looking for artists to manage? Like your name is ringing. And I'm like, right, okay, that it's going to happen. So then a couple of years later, I'm in a label and I'm pitching one of my artists around the table in an A&R session. Everyone's come with their marketing plans and whatever, but our pitch was off the chain. The guys that I was working with at the time, their whole thing was called, it was centered around them being en route to their success. So it was spelled en route the French way, but the whole packaging was done based on the London Underground. So I've turned up with like London Underground tickets that are tickets to their show, but it's like in that form. So the marketing was off the chain. So when I've come in and presented this now, the head A&R is like, that one, I want to chat to her. So the next day I get a WhatsApp message from the guy who got me in and was like, listen, so-and-so wants to talk to you. Make sure you tell her exactly who you are, what you want. So she calls me and she's like, what do you want? And I said, I want to be an A&R. So she said, look, we got no positions right now, but what I can do is I can get you in to do some work experience. And then when a position comes up, you're in. So I'm like, cool. So I go in. There should be something stronger in this. So I go in and you know when you smell the trap? I smelt the trap on day one because I'm like, luckily for me, those 8 years in Royal Mail meant that I know the luxuries that a corporate life can give you. So you can't trick me again. Yeah.
Fool me
But that's what,
once.
yeah. But that's what I saw as soon as I walked in the door. So as soon as I walked in, yeah, when I used to drink coffee, I was a coffee snob. You're not catching me in the high street coffee shops here. You're catching me in the little independent tattoo run places that do actual coffee. Yeah. So when we walk into the ground floor now, it's that level of coffee and it's subsidized. So I'm paying £1.50 for top notch coffee, and I'm already like, I'm side eyeing you, innit? Everyone's like, oh my god, and I'm like, why are you trying to make life so nice and easy? You know what I'm saying? So around the corner now, breakfast. When I tell you any type of breakfast you want porridge? Do you want gluten-free porridge? Do you want 5-grain porridge that ain't got oats in it? You want berries? You want seeds? You want nuts? You want honey? You want maple syrup? Oh, maybe do you want cooked breakfast? Because cooked breakfast is there too. And if you want fruit, it's free. And it's all day long.
Talk nice to me. What?
Right. So, but I'm like, this is trickery, fam. You're making it too nice. Yeah. So I go out to the office on the 9th floor, music thumping from every corner of the room. Like every corner office has got a bass speaker, a subwoofer, just thumping out music. I happened to start on the day that particular label had a UK #1. So we go into the boardroom meeting, there's 40 Domino's boxes. Pizza for everybody. Vegans, vegetarians, meatitarians, halalitarians, everybody. Yeah. And I'm like, So I chill in the kitchen, even in the kitchen in the office. Hot water tap, cold water tap, sparkling water tap, coffee machine in there, organic herbal teas. I'm like, what is this? This luxury can't trick me. What's going on? So I start my shadowing now, and I'm listening to conversations, and I'm just like, is this really what people are talking about? They're talking about how this artist has just spent £300 on a Birkin, or to rent a Birkin bag for the day, and the makeup artist is 500, and this Uber is that, and all of this, that, and the third, and they ain't even made money from their single yet. And so I'm like, okay. So I'm listening to all of these things. I'm just understanding the landscape now. And so all these things is going on, and I'm just listening, and I'm asking questions, and then I'm having meetings with different A&Rs, and they're saying like, show me your artist, and I'm showing them, and they're giving me the same chat. They're like, listen, no one don't care about what people want to say, because my artists are like me, innit? They're talking the real thing. So the A&Rs are like, your artists are good, but this doesn't sell. It doesn't sell. And the only way to get them to sell is they're going to have to adapt to the industry. And I'm like, yeah, but we're not about that. So I'm asking them, what do they do for marketing? You think they can tell me what their marketing plans are? Well, you got all these independent artists that are like, I need a machine behind me so they can help me with marketing. They ain't got a clue. Not in today's world, not with social media. They ain't got a clue. So they're asking their artists, what's working for you when you're on your social media? They take whatever's working for that artist and then they put money behind that. So I'm seeing all of this going on. I'm like, okay, so you lot ain't got it all figured out either then.
Not even.
But the killer blow for me, what it was, I was in A&R meetings. Now, when you go into the A&R meeting, you are told what happens in the room stays in the room. So I'm like, all right. The first one was okay. The second one, I'm in that room and they play this song. It's really depressing. It's quite dark. And they're like, such and such label has secured the license for this. this is going crazy on TikTok. Why? Someone tell me why this is working. So the young A&Rs in the room are explaining about Percocet culture and taking Xans and taking all these like antidepressants and the connection between that and young people self-harming and basically the new version of emo culture. And they're explaining that a lot of these young people are depressed. This is the music they gravitate towards. So the president of the label was sitting there and he's going, huh. And he says, okay, so how do we exploit this then? So when we hear that word exploit, no, I knew that was the end of my journey because I'm a youth worker. I'm not a youth worker when I walk into the building when I'm being paid. I'm not a youth worker between the hours of 12 and 9 o'clock. I'm a youth worker 24/7. So when I hear the words, how do we exploit this then? When if I hear that in my day job, I have to do a safeguarding referral because there's exploitation about to happen, there's no difference here. So I said, okay, this is it for me. So when the meeting finished, I text the person, the head A&R who got me in. I said, thank you very much for this experience. I will not be returning tomorrow. And I left it at that. And I went through a few months of heartbreak because I felt like the industry broke my heart in the sense that it is exactly what you think it is. And these are all the rumors that people talk about. They're all the things that we know goes on. But there's something different in knowing it and hearing it.
Yeah.
And seeing it just so blatant in your face like that, you know? You can't unsee it. You can't. You can't.
You can't.
What do they say again? You can't put back the toothpaste in the
Toothpaste
tube,
into the
right?
tube, yeah.
That just won't work out, right? You know, I relate with a lot of things you said.
We relate.
Like we relate with a lot
We
of
do.
things you said,
Honestly,
because we worked in the music industry as well together. We've experienced like
countless of these stories.
What people will say, it's the high life. You know, you get to some places where you get served on a slate. You know, like your food arrive on a hot slate. These type of places, and you know, very luxurious places and that. But then you see what these places are and what's going on, and then you realize, I don't move like that. So yeah, and then you know, of course, coffee. Yeah, I'm a coffee connoisseur. Oh yeah, of course, 100%.
He calls it connoisseur. I would say
I know.
you're snob.
Yes, what? I can give you the French term, yeah, connaisseur, but you know, I thought that
yeah.
you know translate better. So
He's a coffee snob, fellow coffee snob here.
yeah, for sure.
Good man.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, this for us is like it means a lot. Even hearing it from you, because we worked with a lot of major labels, and then yeah, you have your preconceived idea before you start the work, and then you realize what this is, and you're like, I'm not willing to go that far. And you know, the journey sometimes have to stop there. It doesn't mean it's the end of the whole entire journey, but at least that aspect of it. And then you redirect, and then you go to the independent route, and it's another story. But yes, thank you for sharing that.
Really,
yeah.
What touched me is the fact that you were like, I am youth worker. Like, it's not a switch off; it's a frequency.
Yeah.
And in that whole journey and in that whole story, my only I do understand the grieving of it as well, because afterwards you got to be like, rah, I don't want it how they want it, and if that means I don't get it, I've got to be okay with it. But what I would also say is, you are music artist, you are A&R, and you are writer and creator. So those two things, all of those many things will follow you as well. They can't leave you. No matter what experience any of us have when we interact with these what do you want to call them? Machines? Enterprises?
Yeah.
You know, for you on your awakening journey, because I know that's part of it, you know. How much do you really want this? Test, test, test.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
it's like what you said when you walked into the building. You smelt trickery. Intuition, 2020. How do you find, with all of the experiences that you've had, from your message being able to transcend, like, you know for a fact it can transcend language, so for someone then to equally say what your people are doing does not sell, it won't be felt, it's not hot, that juxtaposition between truth and what you know, how has your music and your artistry and your skills, your people skills, your knowings, been able to take you through your now journey of healing and, I'm saying awakening, but the unfolding of your life and your self-expression now? Like, where are you at with this, with you, with Char?
I would say I'm probably at the most peace with it that I've ever been. Because now, because I know what the industry is, it's like I prefer America's racism to the UK's racism. It's up front, it's in your face. The UK is very microaggressive. If you give me macroaggression, I know where I stand. So now, with the music industry as it is, I know where I stand. I don't want to be anywhere near it. So when I create now, I create fully from my soul. And I have been in my creative bag for a good 6 months now. I've been writing poetry. I've been producing my own music. I've been writing new songs. I've been drawing again, digitally as well as old school. But yeah, I'm in a place where I'm ready to get back and record. But part of the journey is finding a studio where I can feel comfortable to be myself, because I mean, Shem, you must have had this experience. Oh, I don't know, because Mondays you record with Monday, right? But you
Yeah,
must know
but not
that you must know about the struggles of.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so being a woman, it don't even matter that I'm mask presenting or tomboy or whatever. The drama I've had trying to get, just, most people are nice to a point. And then that nicety makes them think that they can cross certain lines, and that don't work with me. Cause we don't move like that. I don't move like that. So I either just disappear or I tell you about yourself, and then it's something else, isn't it?
Just
So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's also when the whole Me Too thing was popping up.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, Me three? Can we go it, and me? It's one of those ones, but it was like, I saw I saw the industry in it. That's how much the industry
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that's how much, when you in it, and that's how much the industry you have smelt, felt, and know in your soul, like, that's what this is. Even when you have things that seemingly seem like they're coming to save you in some way, you can smell the industry in even these things.
Yeah.
Which is one of the many blessings of the lessons that these type of journeys give you, innit? It
100.
sharpens your discernment.
Yeah,
It sharpens
100.
your discernment. From all of this, I'm hearing this freedom now that you're talking about creatively, and I get it, because you do want somewhere that's aligned straight up. And you can imagine the issue in working with Omondi only under the fact that people are vexed that I have even what they would deem as protection. So the first thing is, let's figure out how weak these people are, and if we can just because they don't like groups.
No,
not that they don't put together.
Yeah. Oh no, they don't mind groups if you out of your integrity. If you come in out of your integrity, 100%, they can manipulate you.
Yeah,
can do whatever they want.
Here we go. But okay, we've got producers, so we don't really need him. But so and someone literally said to me, if I offered you blah 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 tomorrow, but you had to do it solo, and would you take it? And I said, no. What, like without Monty? Yeah. And he clean called me a fucking idiot. Straight up. No filter.
Why?
Well, then I'm
It's
right.
not easy navigating.
Well, then
Jesus.
I'm right then. You're a fucking idiot. He didn't. Okay, idiot would have been nice. He said, you're a fucking idiot then. I said, if you say so, then that's probably correct for you. And I was like, Amondi came back from the toilet. I was like, babes, I think I'm ready to go. I think I'm ready to go. It was one of those. So it's not, you navigate, innit? But you know when to go, you know when to leave. You know when to take that. As you're saying it, I'm seeing you pulling the cord on the thing and say, all right, guys, it's been lovely. Got to take my jump cord here, plugging out of this one.
Absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what next you create, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how you share that and what that's going to feel like and sound like from this side of the knowing of how it is you want to do it. Like, I'm sure lots of people want to know that for sure. I'm going to move back out of the creative stage. Well, they'll probably come with me because it's part of who you are, but I'm merging the two with the OBE stuff as well, because it's all part and parcel of understanding the complexity of this multi-dimensional artist you are. Yeah. So I know lots of people are afraid to talk about OBEs, are afraid to talk about dreams, all of their experiences. You've been always had that bravery to talk about social issues and conscious issues. Your music, your writing, moving forward, your art, is it going to reflect some of your new experiences now and some of your new knowings? And how has all of these stories you share with us, is that going to show up in your art as well? How are you going to navigate when you create now?
100%. Like, you should. I might just do you like, oh no, you're not on thing anymore. I was gonna say, but you will hear it because I will get this stuff recorded. But yeah, I'm talking the talk. Yeah, I'm talking the talk. And the thing is, I'd say from a spoken word perspective, the poetry is more like the inner work, the deep diving that I've been doing the last few years and navigating relationships and mental health challenges and neurodivergence and all the personal growth stuff. That's more the spoken word. But the rapping, I'm talking the talk. I'm talking the talk. So I'm excited. And this is why I'm like, higher self, can you find me a studio that aligns with me, please? Like, can you align me with the right studio? Because I've got some shit to say and people are gonna, you're gonna hear it. Like, I'm not, there's no filter on what I'm saying.
I love that.
Nothing.
I love that.
Looking forward to hear it.
Looking forward to hearing it. 100%. Looking back at your journey then, and I know that this is like might be a difficult question to answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. But looking back at your journey, what has been that greatest lesson that all of these experiences have taught you about yourself?
That I should always trust myself. And that I should trust myself to be the authentic version of myself. I don't need to wear a mask anymore. And I don't look back at the mask with any kind of energy of, regret or anything. I thank it because it got me through. That mask helped me. It helped me code switch when I needed to. It helped me have some amazing experiences. Like, we can say what we want about the corporate world and all the rest of it. I had some incredible experiences in the corporate world. And your girl had money coming out of her ears, mate. And it was nice to have that experience of what it's like to be incredibly financially abundant, to not have to check my bank statements, to be, my nickname was jet setter in the office. I was constantly flying out. Like, I had lots of savings. The wardrobe was mad. The trainer collection was mad. Like, it was nice to have that experience. But I always knew that there was something missing in my soul. There was always something missing. So it was like, yeah, this is cool, but there's something missing there. So now that that has been fulfilled, when the abundance comes back, because it will, it's just going to be like maybe just like a layer on top of the icing that's already there. Because I feel the same way that I felt then without the money. Because when I tell you life has just been giving me everything I need when I need it, since I fully surrendered, it's been beautiful. So that's why I feel abundant, because like I said, if I need it, it comes to me, whatever it is. So yeah, with all of that, it's definitely about trusting that my authentic self is the self that I need to be all the time.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
You said it.
You said it. I think that is one of the single most things that is a challenge for a lot of people going through it. Like that one question, am I enough?
Yeah.
And hearing back that the answer is always going to be yes is the cherry on the cake. It is. Yeah.
So if you could clear up one misconception people have about intuition, dreams, or consciousness, what would it be?
It's the same misconception that I think about life. Stop taking this shit so serious. It's just not that deep, guys. It's really not. We make it so complicated when we use words like gifts, powers, or we think about it in our childlike imagination of, oh, this person's magical. Like, stop pedestalling people. If you see someone online who can do telekinesis, let that inspire you to tap into your own telekinesis. Yeah? When we see people like Darius and that, they are characters. They are the same as you. Darius is the same as you. You're on the same level. No one is above you. Everything that these people that you admire can do, you can do it. And the fact that you're sitting there going, oh, I want to do it. Oh, I wish I could do it. That's what's stopping you not being able to do it. Because you're taking it too serious. Remember how you felt as a child. When you was a child, you believed you could do anything. Yeah? Call Disney what you want. It definitely is what you think it is. Cool, Warner Brothers, they definitely are. But guess what they gave you? They gave you the expansion of your imagination. They allowed you to believe that magic is real. Yeah? But take all the special labels away and remember how you felt. You really thought you could fly. You really tried to. Because I know you jumped off your bed. Because I did it too. Yeah? You jumped off your bed. And I know that you've done things like, you've tried to do that because you believed that you could as a kid. Tap back into that energy. That's who you need to be going forward, because the child version of you is actually the most authentic version of you. So just stop taking it all so serious. Relax into it. And have a knowing that your gifts will come online when you align with the frequency of them.
Bars.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were
But I
going to
do.
drop the mic. No, the last question we're about to ask you now, but
Bars.
I think you're gonna have to drop the mic twice.
Yeah, pick that back up right quick. But
Because I was like, okay, she said it. You heard it, people. Yeah. So, do you want to ask a question?
We ask it to every guest. This question at the end: who are we, and why are we here? In your opinion?
Okay. The ocean is our human representation of source. That's source, and we are fractals of source. Fractals of the ocean, rivers, streams, waterfalls, lakes, ponds, pools, they all lead back to the ocean. They are all part of the ocean. They come from the ocean. They are the ocean. They carry everything that the ocean has. They are called different names. They appear in different places around the world. They do different things. But they still nourish us. They still give us exactly what we need when we need it. That's what we are. We are fractals of source. And we are here because we're playing a game. Stop taking it so seriously. We decided on the other side that eons and eons and eons of existence can sometimes get a little bit boring, and we wanted to challenge ourselves, and we wanted to see how much more can we expand. What would happen if we didn't know that we were infinite? What would happen if we didn't know that we were limitless? And a few people decided to create this game, and we decided to participate. We are participating in an experiment that we have just taken too seriously. And we're sitting here in our woe is me victimhood. We've got to get out of that. The victimhood is a trap. All of that. I used to do EDI work. For the Americans, DEI work. I realized within a month, it's a trap. Equity, diversity, and inclusion is a trap. You are not going to see me sitting here complaining, oh, I'm black, so I can't do it. Oh, I'm queer, so I can't. Oh, I'm a woman, so I can't. Boring. If I say I can't because of X, Y, Z, then guess what? I can't. We create what we want. We always have been able to do that. We just forgot. I'm not saying that those things aren't a factor. I have been a victim of all of those things. But when you step out of that victimhood and you step forward into knowing that you are source, how can source be the victim of anything? Who's going to come and dictate to source? Who's going to tell source can't do nothing because source is a darker colour? Are you mad? You can't tell source nothing. You have to know who you are and then run this game. Run the game. Stop playing small. Play big. I want everyone to start playing big. You're a big somebody out here. Come and be your big self.
bars. What are we
Yeah.
saying?
I
what are we
mean-
saying?
So, for anyone who'd like to connect with your work, follow your journey, or reach out to you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube under my rap name, Icykal, because my surname's Frost.
Boom. You're out of order with this wordplay out here. I just want to let that know. Let me clear that up.
I'm a rapper, Shem.
You're taking liberties out here with this wordplay.
I'm a rapper, supposed to. So that's Icykal. Icykal. Yeah, you can find me on any of those platforms. I'm also on Telegram at Wolf Vision Free, I think. But just find me on socials, and then if you want to Telegram me, I can hook that up.
Everything else will be down in the description. As per usual, it is always a good time. It is always high vibes. It is always a pleasure to be conversating with you. We very much love and appreciate you.
Same, man. I love you guys a lot.
Thank you so much for your time.
For
answering these 20 odd questions we had for you. We had more, but because we can always ask more questions, and but that's gonna be for another time, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely.
Listen, you, as always, Char, were brilliant, and I think that this conversation will be well felt. Thank you for sharing with our community. Thank you for sharing with everyone your story, your experiences, and your insights. We appreciate you a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Char.
I really appreciate you too. Thank you.
All right. And everyone else, she already dropped the mic, so I got nothing to say.
Just
all right.
ciao from us, isn't it?
Ciao for now.
Yeah.